Proud to be part of their community builder network. I see Helena Nat, our executive director, came in. She's doing 27 jobs. Everybody knows Helena. Let's put our hands together for Helena. We're going to talk a little policy here because we have somebody who came in from Washington, D.C. and is a vital part of this administration. And we're talking about billions of dollars of loans. We had a great experience watching your agency work during the pandemic. We were right on top of giving out PPP loans and helping them get forgiven, and we can't thank you enough. And Paul Amon, are you here from KeyBank? He helped us with 1,000 PPP loan applications. And of course, then it just got better. When the country's in trouble, the United States Small Business Administration steps up. The EIDL loans were a boost for the economy and struggling businesses. But before we talk policy, let me tell you something about this administrator. She comes from very humble beginnings. She grew up on a farm in Illinois, I believe. And she went to college in Illinois, and then she went to grad school, MBA school. And I believe you know what struggling is. You had to pay for it yourself and take out loans. And then she became a certified financial administrator. And that's a tough one. You got to take a lot of tests. Our former chairman, Cynthia DiBartolo, runs Tigris Financial, and I watched her go through it. And then business, the business world loan. You worked at Citibank. I think you started at Toyota, but you drive a Kia now, right? And Mr. Kim is going to be proud to hear that because we're trying to fight to get the Korean Partnership Act passed so we can help those factories create jobs here. And we're going to talk about that in the policy. But you then ran for United States Senator. You were appointed by your governor because everybody knows how hard you work. And then you took some time off to do some charitable endeavors. And then you got picked this year to run the United States Small Business Administration. So you've seen the ups and the downs, and you know that the backbone of America is small business. We've been advocating that for years. I see Man Lee, an economic development specialist. You show us the money. You've been advocating for years. So tell me what you think coming out of COVID, some of the best programs you're doing to help with the small businesses.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Mark, and thank you all for being here. There's so many incredible, and you're all leaders, and that's why you're here. So I want to first thank you for what you do locally. Your impact is huge internationally, as you know, Mark has talked about here, and I want to thank you for your incredible leadership. Look, you're right. I came from humble beginnings. I was the first in my family to graduate from college. I am such an advocate of the American dream because I saw that happen on my family farm, now 5 generations. I know that small business creates generational opportunity, generational prosperity. It takes families out of generational poverty. And that's my conviction in coming here, is that small business has to be protected and preserved because that is the foundation of the American dream and of American strength and exceptionalism. So, look, the Small Business Administration was pretty much under the radar until COVID. I mean, we all knew it was important, but COVID saved millions of businesses. The COVID relief saved millions of businesses. It saved millions and millions of jobs. Post-COVID now, we are getting back to an era of focusing on the original mission of the SBA, which is to advance the interests of small business and to grow the economy, because we know that that is the thing that lifts everyone up from every walk of life. We have a strong, thriving economy. And so what the SBA focuses on first and foremost is access to capital. And we have such a hardworking team, as you pointed out. We have so many great team members here. I'm so grateful to their work on the ground here and to our partners, the SBDCs, the 20 that are here in state, and the work that they do to do business counseling. So it's access to capital, it's business counseling, it's access to federal government contracting, and then unfortunately in times of disaster, sometimes our services are needed then and there. And so we're the largest lender of disaster lending, in addition to the government's largest guaranteed lender. We're doing about 2,000 Main Street loans every single week. So you think about unleashing the power of innovation, the hard work that happens right here. I was at a bunch of small businesses yesterday, talking to small business owners. We can talk more about that. But that's what the heart of SBA.
Thank you. By the way, Andrew Flam from the Manhattan Brooklyn Pace University Center, I know is out there. I don't know if he's in the room, but they're vital. Hey, Andrew, thank you. Thank you for what you do for our membership. One of this administration's signature points is regulatory reform. And as a chamber president, I've been hearing about that for decades. How do we streamline? How do we create one-stop shopping? What is this administration doing, and what are some of the signature programs that you want to see accomplished for reform?
Yeah, and this mission is personal for me because I saw my parents in building a small trucking company back on the farm deal with paperwork. Back in the 1900s, we called it paperwork. Now it's all online, but it's still red tape, bureaucracy. It's a tax on small business when you're just filling out forms, and bureaucracy is creating a decision point of, do I hire another employee or do I comply with all these rules and regs? And that's been a hallmark of the Trump administration, from the first administration to now this administration, which is for every new reg, let's remove a dozen old ones that no longer serve us. Because I can tell you from serving in the US Senate, the incentive is to pass new laws, but we never pull off the old ones. And that means law-abiding citizens, that law-abiding small businesses are just complying with a more complex maze of regulations. And that's just at the federal level. So think about what goes on state and local. So we have an obligation to you to make sure that our rules and regs provide the right rules of the road, the environment in which you have certainty to operate, and then stop there and let the free enterprise world take leadership and not big government.
With your background, do you have any signature ones that you're suggesting to the top leadership of our country? And you're part of that cabal now.
That's right. I'm very humbled to be a part of President Trump's cabinet, of the work that we're doing on behalf of small businesses. And you mentioned my background. So yes, I was raised on a farm, so I have the agriculture perspective, but I've also spent 30 years in the financial services industry, and I have two examples, one from each. Let's take financial services and just small businesses generally. So we've got 35 million small businesses across the United States. They employ you all employ about 44% of our population and create 46% of the GDP. Well, this year, under the Biden administration, they wanted to put beneficial ownership information requirements, BOI, in effect. And if you, a small business of one person, didn't file a regulatory filing that you may never have even heard about, you could be subject to up to $10,000 of fines per day and 2 years of imprisonment. We can't have small businesses micromanaged at that level and expect them to be able to pay employees to hire and invest and grow their business. So Treasury put that on hold, much to the relief of 99% of all businesses in this country. The other one is something slightly different for the ag community. Farmers who now make an average of a negative $1,800 a year because commodity prices are so low, what they were having to do was pay tens of thousands of dollars in diesel exhaust fluid regulation when their tractor would slow down when the diesel exhaust fluid ran out. This was causing breakdowns and shortages of supplies in terms of fulfilling this kind of random environmental requirement that wasn't really supporting the environment and was just benefiting some of the people that sold the diesel exhaust fluid. So now we're back to a more common sense policy, and we worked with EPA on that. So whether it's working with Treasury, EPA, labor, with whom we have an MOU with, we are going to advocate for small businesses. So if you have a concern, you can email redtape@sba.gov and let them know where federal regs are costing you thousands of dollars and how we can help you.
Well, that's